we're always encouraged, work hard, go to school, do well and get a good job. But it doesn't actually create wealth. For myself, it's about being smarter, about being a bit creative, about how to build wealth, because working hard doesn't actually create money. Kia ora, ko te Kahukura Boynton tōku ingoa. Heri tēnei no Ngāti Kahungunu, Ngāi Tuhoe, te Whakatōhea hoki. I'm 19 years old and I'm just starting my third year of law school. I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 25, so I've got 6 years to achieve that. Growing up, when I read things about money, I didn't look like anyone that was talking about money, and so I wanted a platform where people felt like they could actually relate. So on my podcast, I like to just talk about it like it's a normal conversation and talk about it as if it's not as, daunting as a lot of people think it is. I get $283 a week from student allowance, $20 a week from student loan, and then $192 from my part-time job at a law firm. So I get to live here for $100 a week, and that's quite a cheap price for rent, I think. So I'm really grateful that I'm able to do that. So as a content creator, I spend about $75 a week on my phone plan and on my data. I use a lot of data, so I need an unlimited plan. So I spend about $40 a week on gas, $20 a week I put into a car account for car maintenance, and then I also spend $30 a week on car insurance. So I love getting massages once a month. They're $100 and so they're quite expensive, but I really love getting massages. So I spend $25 a week in a massage account for massages. I also like getting my nails done, and that's about $70 every 3 weeks. So I try and put about $25 away for that as well. I like to keep my fun money at under $50 a week. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I like to keep my grocery bill at $80 a week, and sometimes we need to do creative things to be able to keep it at $80 a week, whether that's going to a veggie store for produce or a butcher. So this week we were able to get our shop from Pack and Save. I like to limit myself to one time at the takeaways per week, so that generally costs about $20 a week. I don't like consumer debt. I don't think that's something that we should encourage, and especially with rangatahi, we don't have, spare money, and so a lot of people go into debt for necessities, and I think that's really troubling, especially for Māori communities. I believe my checking account is often quite empty, but let's bring it up. Yeah, my everyday account has $15.94 in it. So I have a few different savings. I have like my fun account, my nails account, and all these different things. But I like to keep at least $1,000 in my emergency fund if anything comes up, fixing a car, if a fridge breaks down and I urgently need a fridge, or things like that, so that I don't need to go into debt. I also like to keep some money aside in the koha account, so if tangi come up unexpectedly, or if I need to go somewhere and give a koha, then I always like to have some money. My student loan at the moment is at about $4,000. Each year they give you $1,000 for your course materials, and I always like to get that even if I don't need the money for my course materials, and I just put it straight into investing. About $50 a week I like to invest into the stock market. So my investing portfolio with Sharesies is currently at about $9,000. I like to stay consistent and invest in the stock market to build wealth for my future. I'm currently using the Coda KiwiSaver scheme, and so with that you're allowed to kind of make decisions on where you want your money invested. There's about $7,000 in there at the moment, and I do 8% contributions from work. So each month I like to do a net worth calculation. So my goal for last year was to hit $40,000 in net worth, which I accomplished, and my goal for this year is to hit $100,000 for my net worth. If I sold everything today, how much money would I have? So I count my jewellery, I count, all these different things, my car, and then I minus my liabilities. So at the moment my liabilities is my student loan. So I subtract that, and then the final sum is my net worth. And so when the final amount will be $1 million, then that will be when I'm a multi-millionaire.